Welcome back to the news at 10. The governorship election has ended across the country. Voting started hours after the accreditation exercise ended, but before then, this is how the mood was earlier in some states.
The D-Day for the governorship election has finally come, a day many Nigerians had looked forward to across the country. Precisely in 29 states, accreditation began in earnest. In southwest Lagos State, as at 7:30 a.m. in some areas, INEC officials were yet to arrive, while in other places the accreditation was done in a matter of minutes. The streets are deserted in Ogun State, except for the presence of security operatives. The polling units are the busy areas as the people get accredited.
Verification passed.
The voters and INEC staff seem satisfied with the improvement made so far.
And I was impressed with what compare with last week. Better arrangement today than last week.
It's not too different in Osun State, where the voting process has also kicked off with the accreditation of voters ending peacefully.
Everything has been going on moderately. So people have been accrediting, and those that discover that the candidate fails, they make a provision for water to wash their hand so that it can capture their fingertip.
It's okay, except that people are not really turning out. It's sort of what I could call apathy.
As at 8:21 a.m. in Owerri, the Imo State capital, southeast Nigeria, buses were still waiting to convey voting materials to some polling units, while accreditation commenced in some other units as scheduled. It's also a similar scenario in Umuahia, the capital of Abia State. INEC officials set out with election materials to various parts of the city. Accreditation also went on smoothly in Ibom State. Over to the south in Cross River State, as early as 7:30 a.m., ad hoc staff are already at their polling units, and the people are impressed with the exercise this time around.
Yeah, there's a big difference from today, more than the last election.
In Edo and Akwa Ibom State, people are also being verified. Down to the north central, Nasarawa State, the streets are somewhat busy with people doing their usual thing. The INEC office is surrounded by security personnel, and the polling units have a long queue. While in Kwara State, it's a similar scenario, people being accredited. Northwest Nigeria is not left out. In Kaduna and Kano states, INEC ad hoc staff are already attending to the voters. There's a large crowd in the northeast, Adamawa State, where voters have been accredited. Long queues are noticeable in Yobe State, with security officials ensuring that all is well. With the accreditation and voting over and done with in some states, what the people are looking forward to now is that the exercise goes according to plan and that the candidates of their choice are elected, and they also deliver on their promises to make life better for them.
We'll now take you to the INEC Situation Room here in Lagos, where the resident electoral commissioner, Mr. Akwa, is already collating results from some parts of the state. And our correspondent, Sheon Okimbalo, joins me now. Hello, Sheon. What's the situation right now?
All right. The situation room, or the operation room, like they're calling it here, is busy. You can see the ad hoc officials there. They are busy collecting the results. They're in contact with the people on the field, and they're getting information as to the level of progress of the results so far gotten. So what we're seeing generally is that I've had a chat with the resident electoral commission, Mr. Akwa, who told me that his men are on ground here, and they're monitoring how the people in the field are doing. It might take a bit of time for us to see some of the results eventually turn in, because so far we've not seen any of the local governments have the results turned in. Here are the headquarters of INEC, but the people here are in contact with the people on the field. And as soon as the local government, each of the local government, one after the other, they will bring their results in. But so far, what we've seen is that the screen where we'll be having the results being displayed is ready. Journalists from across the country, they're all in here ready. This place is already getting busy, and people are coming in and out of the premises of INEC. In another few minutes, we should have this place active and alive.
Well, even though it seems as if it's going to be active and alive, it seems like there's also going to be a vigil of some sorts.
I mean, we know the practice when results are being expected. What happens is that some local governments who are far away, you know how Lagos is, some local governments are on the other side of the ocean, some are on the mainland, and take time before some of these come in. And when they do come in, it might take us to the early hours of the day, and of course we're going to keep busy. You know how important Lagos is in the scheme of things when it comes to the politics of Nigeria. So we'll be keeping vigilant, of course, keeping the viewers in touch and updated on the situation of things as we get them here.
Thank you so much, Sheung. Our correspondent, Sheung Okimbalo, giving us a situation report from the INEC situation room here in Lagos, where results from the elections are gradually trickling in. Of course, journalists are going to wait it out until those results are finally announced. You can follow Channels Television to get latest news and updates on those results. But low turnout of voters was reported in some major states in the north and north central. Our correspondents report that the process was orderly and peaceful.
In north-central Nigeria, Benue State, the election was reported to be largely peaceful, as no major incident was recorded, although the fear of the likelihood of violence was reported to have affected the turnout. Still in north-central Nigeria state of Akwa, there was also low turnout of voters. The governor of the state, Abdul Fattah Ahmed, praised the security operatives for the peaceful and orderly conduct.
The security arrangement is fantastic, and people are very confident that security agents will do their jobs accordingly.
Moving on to Kaduna State, northwestern Nigeria, accreditation commenced at some polling units in several parts of the state as early as 7:45 a.m. There was also heavy security presence in all the polling units visited. Both observers and the electorate described the conduct of the exercise as very orderly and peaceful. The Vice President, Namadi Sambo, the Governor of the state, Ramalan Yero, and the All Progressives Congress governorship candidate in the state, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, along with his wife, Aisha, were amongst those who voted. Kano State, still in the northwest of Nigeria, our correspondent reports that voting started at 1 p.m. There was no report of violence in polling units visited. However, as at 3 p.m., many voting units have closed due to poor turnout. Meanwhile, in Sokoto State, elections took place in over 3,000 polling units across the state, with minor incidents, as a young man was arrested with ballot papers in Sanian Ward in Tambuwal local government area. Elections in 2 polling units were cancelled because some political thugs disrupted the process. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, who is running for the governorship of Sokoto, Aminu Tambuwal, was amongst those who voted. In Adamawa State, although the process was reported to be peaceful, our correspondent said there was a lot of internally displaced persons who voted, and an underage voter was also seen. So far, what seems to be common amongst all is low turnout of voters, which was also reported in most parts of the country.
And back to Akwa Ibom State, where there were reports of pockets of violence today, which has created a lot of arguments on all sides of the divide. We're now bringing more details of that incident.
It's really crazy. From the areas mapped here, this is like a map of Akwa Ibom State, and these areas mapped yellow. You see Abak region, Ikorek Bene, INEC, and the rest of that. Elections went pretty smoothly. They got the materials on time. There were no records of snatched ballot boxes. But you see the area marked green. These 9 local governments, Uyo, Ibom, Insid, Atai, Insid, Ibom. There were cases of snatched ballot papers. Some INEC coppers reported that they couldn't conduct the elections in those areas because the people pushed them away, or that they beat them, or lynched them up and all of that. So people complained that the elections couldn't go on because the materials were not complete, such that maybe they didn't have ballot papers, or that they were suspecting the people of not using the machines appropriately. In the other regions as well, talk about places like and all of that. Elections are still going on, but people are not sure if it's going on in every single ward and polling unit. So we're getting mixed signals. While some areas are saying elections are going smoothly, things are running nicely, there are areas where I saw that ballot boxes were snatched.
And the main news again. Nigerians have voted to elect government in 20 states of the country. Members of the State House of Assembly. Observers said the turnout was low. President Goodluck Jonathan today voted in the governorship election in Bayelsa State without any hitch with a card reader at his polling unit. President-elect General Muhammadu Buhari also cast his vote in Daura, Katsina State and expressed satisfaction with the process. That's it on News at 10 tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Harriet Agbini. Of course, Nigeria 2015 studio is still live and monitoring the INEC situation rooms across the country as election results trickle in.